Everyone, myself Ganesh UL, Assistant Professor, Mechanical Engineering Department, PSITM, Shimoga. Today we are discussing about a new module called PERT and CPM. The full form of them is PERT means Program Evaluation and Review Technique. CPM means Critical Path Method. In that particular module, we will learn about introduction, about what is meant by project, then what is meant by project management, and what is meant by network. So how the network diagram will be constructed, what are the rules in constructing the network diagram, then some of the problems, how to construct a network diagram and how to analyze a network diagram. So we are discussing all those things in this particular module today. So coming to the first topic, there here what is meant by the project. As most of our final year engineering students will do the project. So project is an interrelated set of activities that has a definite starting and end points. So every students will going to start the project and they will going to end the project, that will going to yield a result that requires a person which is capable of having a technical knowledge, and he should know about the facilities available, and he should know about the materials that he is capable of using for his project. So they are all yielding in a result of a unique product or some services to the society. So those are all considered to be a project. So some of the project that may be hosted by a single person or a group of activities also. So now examples, some of them that we have quoted here is hosting a college annual function is one of a project. Similarly, some other examples also be quoted, as you are observing, plan a space shuttle to Mars that has been carried out by the Indian government, and construct a plant to manufacture a ball bearings. Maybe a mechanical engineer or some who are interested in that particular area, they can host a project in that particular area. Plan for a wedding. Next, designing and implement of a computer system, designing an ABS system, executing environment cleanup of a contaminated site. So some of those projects that we have addressed, they are all required the technical knowledge, they are all required the pupils or the persons, they are all required the materials, facilities, they are all interconnected, they have interlinked to one another. In order to execute a project, they undergo set of activities. These are all considered to be as a project. That is a brief introduction. So what is meant by the next case is what is meant by the project management. So how we are best you are going to manage your project means we need to plan our project, what we are doing in our project, and how we are going to implement our project, and how we are going to monitor our project, and how we are going to control our project. Those are all comes under the project management, because we need to take care of the time, money, materials, manpower, and other resources which comes and goes. So those are all affecting our planning, implementing, monitoring, and controlling factors. So we should have a project manager who is capable of controlling all these factors to have a better project management, to yield a better product at the end. So the three phases that will undergo in a project management are, as we discussed earlier, they are planning. So this one is the first one is the planning, second one is the scheduling, third one is the controlling. Planning means, as it is addressing, planning involves setting the objectives of the project, identifying the various activities to be performed. So what activities we are performing and what we are determining. So what are the resources that are available, what are the materials are available, or what are the machines that are available in order to carry out those projects. So those are all comes in the planning section. So once we have planned, we need to schedule. So what will be the starting time of our project, how much will be the time taken to complete our project, how we are going to showcase that in a particular as some diagrams or some charts, how you are going to address all those things that will going to comes, that will be as a scheduling part. So in the controlling, how best you are going to allocate your resources, so how you are going to reallocate your men, materials and machines, so how best you are going to reduce or improve your project timings. These are all comes under the controlling part, which are all been handled by a project manager. That will be considered as a project management, which are the three basic phases that should be taken care in order to execute a particular project. They will at the end they will going to address by using some of the tools or the techniques that has been considered, as some of them are addressed here: Gantt chart, network diagrams, critical path method, chain scheduling, cost estimation. These are all comes under the project that we should take care in order to execute any particular project, to optimize it, that particular project also. So the next part is network. So what is this network, why it is important in a project management or a project means? We should know what is our starting and what is our end, how our starting to the end has been interlinked, how the activities have been interlinked. So because in a project means it consists of so many number of events or an activities, how those activities has been interlinked and how they are in how, whether they are independent or whether they are interlinked means in most of the cases it will be an interlinked to one another. Then how you are going to represent that one means this network diagram or the network will going to showcase our project, entire project, to address anyone or to read by ourselves. It will be most useful tool. So it is a logical sequence or it's a graphical way of representation of our entire project or the plan of activities in a diagram, so consisting of nodes in a circle way of representation and arrows in the way of activities that we are observing. These are called as nodes or events. Whatever the circle, that will be called as the nodes or events, and each circles or nodes have been connected by an arrow pointing towards some particular direction, that will be addressed as an activity over which the activity name has been addressed, which represent the part of a project. So from here to here, so it has been interlinked with so many number of ways of path or so many number of directions has been represented. They are all comes under the project. So the entire thing will be called as a graphical diagram and it is a logical sequence. It will have some meaning. So that will be called as a network. So the thing that we need to observe here is an activity, and this activity has been interlinked to one another means it will have some relationship. The relationship may be addressed as a precedence or successors. Those are the two things which comes ahead or which comes before, that will be called as a precedence or a successors. And the event means the circles or the nodes as I addressed earlier. Those are all comes to define what is meant by a network in a project. So that has been further divided into two categories, that is the PERT and CPM, that is the program evaluation and review technique, that is meant by PERT. CPM means critical path method, are the two important things that we are going to study in network planning. So some of the components are the things that we need to learn in PERT or CPM network is, so how you are going to represent your network diagram, how you are going to show your particular project in a graphical representation, what are the things that comes there, or what are the component key elements that will going to come means, the first one is, so it should have a starting point and it should have a end point. So it is a simplest, it is a simplest starting and this is a simplest end point. So it has been connected by an arrow indicating the center of the arrow there is some value and some of the name also there, that represents an activity. Here they have quoted here a letter called A that represent an activity which started at this point and this has been ended at this point. The arrow indicates the end of the activity, so this will be called as the tail, that is the beginning of the activity, and this will be called as an head, that is an end of an activity. The activity name is called as an A, where this will be called as a node, that is the starting of the activity. This is called another node, that is an end of an activity. So if you are addressing with respect to the difference between the activity and events, means these are called as the events or the nodes, and this center where we represent something that will be showing some relationship between two nodes to carry out some actions, that will be called as an activity. So in keeping that in mind, we are going to move further, that is merge and burst events. So what is meant by the merge or burst event means, if two or more activities are coming at a certain node, that is one of the things that will be called as the thing. Merge. Burst means from a particular node or event, if more number of activities are emerging outside, that will be called as a burst. So one of them is coming towards the node and another one is going towards the node, that will be called as a merge and burst event that has been addressed here. This one is called as merge and this one is called as the burst event. So the next one is the preceding and succeeding activity. That means any activity will be followed by certain other activity, or any activity before it starts it will have some other activity. So for example, an activity C will start only when an activity A is finished, or else in another way of addressing, an activity B after finishes, an activity D will going to start. So some of the activities will going to have successors here, some of the activities will going to have precedence. So for C the precedence will be A, for B the successors will be D. So it will be addressed like that. The same way then some English statements will be given, that means each activity have some precedence or successors. By looking that, we will need to construct our network diagram like this. Based on the precedence or successor relationship only, we need to construct our network diagram. That means our entire project has been splitted up into so many certain number of events or activities which have been chain linked to interdependent on one another. They have been addressed by a relationship called either precedence or successor, that have been showcased as a network diagram. So keeping in that, we need to construct our network diagram. So the things that we need to address right now here is the symbols are some of those meanings. This will be addressed, this one as an activity, this one is an event, this is a set of, this is 1 2 3 means those are called as a set of nodes. This is the set of activities 1 2, this is serial activity, and this is two activity they are meeting at one point, that is the merge activity that has been carrying out here. Then only one activity is coming out here. So what happens here, two activities are meeting at this point means it's a merge, and two activities are going out means it's a burst. So what we need to observe here, before an activity can begin, its precedence activity must be completed. That means if you want to start this activity means we need to complete its precedence, means its previous activity has to be completed, otherwise we cannot start this activity. So for here, if I want to start this activity means this activity is dependent not only on this single, it also depends upon this activity. That means if both of this activity has completed, then only this particular activity is will start. That we need to remember. That means in any of the project, if you are splitting your project into so many number of activities means each activity has to finish unless it's interconnecting activity if you want to start. That means if you want to start means its previous or the precedence activity has to complete. Here the arrows indicate the logical precedence, and the flow diagram, one we need to always remember, the flow of the diagram is always from left to right. That means we need to move from this direction to this direction. We should not come from right to left. That is not good, or that is not holds good in this particular network or CPM. We'll always move from left to right. And one more thing, arrows should not intersect. That means crossing of arrows like a multiplication symbol, we are not including that one. We should not include an intersection of arrows. We should not forget that the arrow should not intersect. Then some of the errors that may occur when you are constructing a network diagram, most of the people or the students that they are undergo this one, those are the errors that I have been going to discuss right now. The first one is dummy. Dummy means if I want to representing some network diagram, when you are representing some network diagram, it will be very difficult to network certain diagrams. So why it is difficult means, so for example, if you are observing some network diagram is there, so here an activity A is observed, here an activity B is observed, here an activity C is observed, here an activity D, and this activity is E. Now I want to represent, or I want to connect activity C to D and activity C to E also, means it is not possible without introducing this dummy, and this has been always introduced with the help of a dotted line, and that does not consumes any amount of time. So what I am saying is, if you are representing any one of the activity, means it will always consume certain amount of time. If you are planning for a house, means this will maybe foundation, this will maybe some other activity, this will be maybe for something, this will be plumbing, painting, some door work, something that they have been split up your project. That means each activity will going to consume certain amount of time, but this dummy activity will never consumes any amount of time, but it will help you in connecting the relationship without affecting any network diagram, and it should not be introduced unnecessarily. So if you are not able of constructing a network diagram, if there is no other choice way of constructing network diagram, means then only we need to introduce. So if it is a possible, means we should not introduce unnecessarily, so it will be always represented by a dotted line. So here why we cannot, means one thing we need to remember in the constructing of network diagram. So this is one node, this is another node, means if a certain activity is emerging from this particular node, means it will meet some other node. That means, for example, an activity B is emerging from a node 2, it is meeting at node 3, means here we can able to represent only one activity. We can have more number of activity we can emerge from 2, but all those activity cannot meet or burst at a single point. It is not possible. That is the main simple idea. If all the activities are emerging from a node 2, that cannot merge always on node 3. So it may burst from a node 2, but it will meet at some different points always. So keeping on that thing in mind, so here we cannot construct any activity without a dummy, means we need to introduce a dotted line. So unnecessary of introducing that one, means it will be an error in constructing a network diagram. So one more thing is, next is a dangling. Dangling means it's a quite simple. When you are constructing your network diagram, it should follow certain start, this will be the start point, and it should have certain end point, and it should always follow in your path. It should not have a certain end point. Here if you are observing, this is one end and this is another end point. That means in your network diagram it should not have multiple end points, it should have a common end point. If you are addressing here this one as 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, then this 6 and 9 will be now called as two end points. Those two end points will not be utilized or used in your constructing network diagram. Multiple end nodes should not be there when you are constructing your network diagram, or multiple starting nodes should not be there. There should be a common starting node, there will be a common end node that should be there in constructing your dangling, or in constructing your network diagram. Sorry, when you are constructing your network diagram. The definition has been addressed. When an activity does not have successor activity, it does not apply for final activity. That is the simplest way. So looping means it will follow this. We see the start point means it has to end at the same point. Here, if you are observing the direction of the arrow, this will be called as a loop. So as I told earlier, when you are constructing your network diagram, that means this statement will always, the flow of the diagram, the means this arrow, it will always flow from left to right. So what happen here, it flow from right to left. This should be avoided when you are constructing your network diagram. That means we cannot represent back, it will be always flow from left to right, we should not represent from right to left. That means feedback is not possible. This type of feedback is not possible. So this is called as, that means looping is not possible in your network diagram. So what are the errors that may arise? The first one is unnecessary of introducing the dotted arrow called as dummy activity. That means which shows the relationship or logic between two activities. Second one is dangling. Multiple end nodes or multiple starting nodes should be avoided. Then looping should be avoided. These are the common errors that we are going to do most of the students or the most of the peoples when they are constructing the network diagram. The next part is, as I told earlier, this one also. So when you are constructing, why I need a dummy means, this is the part I am addressing this one. What happens here? Multiple emerging means it's a burst, means two activities are emerging at this particular node. If you call this node as 1 and this node as 2, so at node 1 two activities are emerging, at node 2 two activities are bursting. This is not possible. Either two activities can emerge particular node, or else ORR two activities can meet at a particular node. That is possible. One of the burst or one of the, that means either burst or an merge activity is possible, both at a time is not possible. That means here two activities are emerging at a node, those two activities are meeting at a common node, means that is not possible. So this should be avoided by all the peoples who are constructing the network diagram, only this particular portion. The next one is rules in constructing the network diagram. So if you are observing, when you are constructing your network diagram, we are constructing with the help of some arrows, and I told these are all called as activity. A is an activity that will have a start point 1, end point 2. B is another activity which is having a start point 2 and end point 3. C is another activity which is having a start point 2 and end point 4. So when you are representing like this, some student may ask, what is the length of this arrow? Means no problem, we can keep this length of the arrow as much you wish, but it should not, that diagram should not be an ugly, it should be clean and neat. The entire representation of the diagram should be clean and neat. You need to think about how much length that is required to showcase your network diagram. The length is not much important, but you should show the direction of the arrow important, always from left to right, and the center of the arrow you should show the always the activity name, and each circle should be represented by the some event number. This event number should not be duplicated. That means if I represent 1 here, means I should not represent once again 1 somewhere else. If I represent 2, means I should not represent 2 once again somewhere else. That should not be there. Duplication of event number should not be there. that has been addressed in the further points. That is, the duplication should not be done, then the length is not much important, and it should have only one start event and only one end event. So what I have addressed with respect to this one, only one start event or only one end event should be there. Those are some of the rules that you should remember when you are constructing or undertaking to construct any network diagram. Then this is a simple or a sample example that has been quoted in constructing a network diagram. So this will be the problem. So if you are observing this problem, this is the problem based on house construction project. So in the project they have taken a problem based on house construction. This project has been divided into so many set of activities. So without completing any activity, we cannot move further for any other activity based on this relationship. This will be called as a precedence relationship, predecessor or precedence relationship. That means there are totally 6 activities that we need to complete in order to execute this particular project, but these all 6 activities will follow this precedence relationship. By keeping this precedence relationship, we need to construct all the 6 activities here. On each activity we need to mention how much the time that it will going to take, so that will results in end of completion. So now first I told an activity A will have always two things. One is the start point and another one is the end point. Start point means start node, end point means end node. That means this will be called as an activity A, which is having a start node 1 and end node 2. Similarly, activity B will have some starting node and end node. C will also have starting node, some end node. Like that, every activity will have some starting node and end node. When you are representing, you should keep this precedence. Now first, what is activity A? When you are observing A, it does not have any precedence. That means it will be the first which will going to start. It does not have any precedence, means it does not have any previous activity. So that means it will start at this particular node 1 and it will end at node 2, and the name of the activity is A. Before this there is no any other activity that has been quoted here. How many number of days it will going to take means it will take 4 days. That has been addressed here. What is the activity? The activity A. And what is the description of that activity? They are going to prepare the house plan. That will going to be the description of that particular activity. Then move on to the next activity. What is the next activity? The next activity name is B. If you want to construct this activity, so what is that? It is having some relationship. If you want to construct an activity B means we need to finish the activity A. After finishing A only we need to construct the activity B. That means end point of A. End point of A is this one. That will be the beginning point for B. So the beginning point for B will be the node 2 and end point will be the node 3. So how many number of days this particular activity B will going to take means 58. That will going to be addressed here, and this B will be written exactly at the center of the arrow. The description is construct the house, and this B activity will have a precedence relationship activity A. That means if you want to start activity B means I need to complete the activity A. That means if I want to construct the house means I should have a house plan. If I have a house plan, then I should have to construct the house. That is always some systematic plan, systematic approach that we need to follow here. Then we have two activities C and D. This both of this activity will have a relationship, that is they should have to follow precedence relationship, that is B. So once an activity B is completed, from that particular point two activities, that is C and D, will go into emerge outside. They are going to burst outside. that is C and D. C will going to move like this and D will going to move like this. So C will going to consume 2 days, that has been written here. C will going to consume 2 days, and then D, that will also consumes 2 days. So what is the planning of C? Fix the door or windows. Fix the door or windows. What is the D? Wiring of the house. D is wiring of the house. The C and D should be written exactly at the center of the arrows, so that we need to understand carefully. Next, also we need to observe this C and D is started here only when B is completed, and B is started only when A is completed. That is a systematic approach. That means an activity will going to start only when its precedence has to complete, unless it should not going to start. Then activity E, this will have only one precedence, that is C. That means this will be the activity. This will going to start only when C is completed. That is the end point of C, that is node 4. It will going to be the beginning point for E. Beginning point, that means node 4 will be the beginning. This means this will be called as an event, that is the starting event for node E, and it will move like this. So node E will going to have a precedency. Node E will going to have a precedency, means its back event will be, or its back activity will going to become C. So this will consumes only 1 day, that has been written. And what is the description? Means paint the house, that will be the description. Then the next last activity is F. F is another activity that will have another precedence, that is D. So if you want to start F, means this will going to start only when D is finished. The D will going to finish exactly at node 5, then only we need to start F. The finishing of this activity D will take place at node 5, that will be going to be the beginning for the activity F, and it will end at node 6. So as I told earlier, when you are constructing your network diagram, it should have a common endpoint. So activity E and F should end at a common point. That common point is 6. That means you should not show 6 here and you should not show 7 here. If you show like that, means it will have 2 endpoints. So that means a project, it will violate the rules of network diagram. And one more thing is, you should have a common endpoint, and it should also have a common starting point. So, and it will always flow from left to right. And here we are not introduced any unnecessary dummy. That means there is no dotted arrow that is required, and there is no looping also is not there. If you are observing, this is not a loop, because if you are observing the direction, it is not a loop. So looping should be avoided. Dummy unnecessary introducing of dotted arrow is should be avoided. Then one more thing that we have observed there is dangling, that is the multiple end nodes or multiple starting nodes should be avoided when you are constructing your network diagram. I hope you are understood how to construct a particular network diagram. In the coming classes, we are going to see much more problems on how to construct a network diagram. Thank you.